welcome back to Musical Intelligence. This one's an Ampeg REVERBEROCKET 2 GS12. It walked in the door at my place about 2 days ago, and I gave him, in all honesty, 200 bucks Canadian for it because it's really banged up. It's a vintage original one, 1966 or something like that. And I'm not going to fix it on camera for you. Don't even think about it. I'm going to show you what's what. I'm going to try to undo a few of the mods in it. And that'll be pretty much it. And then afterwards, the next video on this will be either a professional technician telling me what needs to be done, or me parting it out and selling it in parts. Because it's way beyond my skills to fix it, or it would take me 2 years to fix it, to figure out what I need to learn to be able to apply it and fix it safely. So you might find a few bargain basement like that. Be cheap, be savvy, know what you're getting yourself into, which is essentially the essence of this video. If you're going to go into this world, know what to look for and know what everything is worth. So as you can see, it's already a little bit crooked. So let me fix that. Let me raise the combo a little bit so you can see where we're at the very beginning. I've already opened it when I got it so I could make him an offer that was an offer. That's all I'll qualify it. So, but I didn't do much since then. So you see I have quite a few different life forms in this thing. Funny thing is, when we opened the back of the cab, I found a little tube of ointment that was sealed. And I was wondering what the heck that was, and he told me it was ointment for cat fleas. So that's the kind of owner I'm dealing with in this case. I will have to vacuum the crap out of this too. I'm not going to do the vacuum in front of the camera. But for today, I'll be undoing a few mods. It smells like smoke. I'm sorry, I'm choking on this. It fucking stinks. It smells like 60s, 70s smoke. Anyway. So, now I don't want to ruin the punch. Back panel, stay there for a second. Alright, here we go. Well, I know some of you might be thinking, it's not that bad. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, that's the frame settling itself because one of the support screws missing or sheared off. Whatever you want to call it. So the chassis is coming off. If I can get it off on cam, I will, but I'm not making any promises right now. So back panel. This was hooked. Now you'll see what I mean. It was a wire. Right. And a speaker. Let me try to get it on the proper angle. So see, it says, shed some light on this bitch, Sanyo. So I know this was not stock with the combo. The schematic's pretty good. It's mostly there. So this was hooked. I'll show you afterwards. So you can see the mod here. Stay with me, don't get ahead of me. So I'm trying to understand what the heck this was. So the back panel's mostly there. That speaker's got to come off. This wire here was going to this switch here. This one here. Now I'm just going to get the camera a little closer. I'm not going to get the camera off the ceiling. So here there's a yellow switch. right? So this was hooked to that. That switch would turn on that speaker. Yeah, it's promising. I know. It's lots of fun like that. This one's not working right now. So, and from what I remember, Ampeg was not a Canadian company. So Radio Speaker of Canada Limited is probably not the stock speaker. I'm pretty sure it isn't. So here we go. I'm sorry. I know I said I would wait till the end of the video to vacuum, but I'm sorry. I can do it right now. That's just fucking filthy. All right, let me mute this. Let me stop this a second, and I'll restart it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to clean that up. I found a couple of rubber washers too while I was at it. All right. Pedal needs to be gunked out or cleaned up, or you know, whatever way you want to call it. I'm assuming it works. I have no idea of knowing. It plugs in. There was some signal when I plugged it in, so that at least that was encouraging. Let me put this aside here. So where do we start? How about we start from the bottom? Let's make the things different. That's pretty good. This here, I think we have a failure to communicate, seems to be coming from these screws here. Right. So this was going to that speaker, the one I took off. This one here. Here. And hooking up through this switch here. Now this is coming from that terminal here. That one here. So what I'm going to do in front of the cam is unhook that, and I'll try to undo as much of the useless crap as I can. So wire goes here, kind of. Same switch as this speaker. So this speaker is hooked. It's not working, by the way. There's no signal coming out of it for reasons unknown. I don't even know if it's proper wattage and ohm resistors for this. I'm going to leave this thing hooked up. Alright, so alright, this is gone. That it? Switch here. Let me get this one out. Right? Let me get this staple out. If you have any clue about this amp, please, please, please write to me. Comments, whatever form you want to, write me on my website, intelligencemusicale.com. I really, really need some help with this. No kidding. So, switch seems to be officially deactivated. Alright. Can I remove the switch? Well, that's one wire done. Great professional job there. Honestly, I think the switch is kind of cute. It's a conversation piece. I'm going to leave it there, just for shits and giggles. I'm not touching that. That's going to come off. So the one gets hurt. There we go. Right. Switch taken care of. Speaker removed. Now there's another speaker here. And guess what? It's a Zenith. Now I've put the cam on 4K, so without me moving the cam, here we go. Zenith. See the big Z? Z, whatever. We say Z in French. Zenith. Again, I'm no amp specialist. I'm pretty sure Zenith didn't make speakers for guitar amps in the 60s. And it looks like either a TV speaker or a car speaker. My bet would be a TV speaker. So Zenith comes off. Well, I don't think I'll be able to come off because I probably won't have much of a choice but to remove, to get the cam actually closer to this mess. Alright, let me unhook those wires here and I'll do just that. Alright. Zenith it's removed. Not really. Alright. Let me get some light. Okay. Let me get the cam off the really fancy. But alright. See here? Glue. Yes, sirree, Bob. That speaker is glued. So is the other one. Here's the newly improved speaker terminal. Might as well look at the frame. Here's something that's giving out that left the building, kind of. So that's what I was telling you when I need to remove the chassis from the combo case. And I don't know if that was there or not. Can't tell. But it's got to come off so I can fix it. So I'll do this slowly. Tube. The tube's lit up. I don't know about this one. This guy's got a really bad burn spot. So I don't know about that. So let me stop this, reset the cam, and keep going. What a glorious mess this is. I've got glue to remove. I've got this thing here, which is probably glued in as well. See here, let me unhook this thing here. I think I can unscrew that. So you have to see that. Fast forward if you feel like it. I won't mind. I want to see if this is glued in as well, if it's just a screw. Please tell me it's just a screw. Please. Pretty please. Alright. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Oh, no, there's another screw here. Okay, well, it's not glued in. That's the good news. Okay, it's this one here. So this is going to be probably the easiest part of the restoration, if I can call it that. But the undressing, yeah, it's more like an undressing. Alright. Alright. So I see wires here. That's coming from this. Oh, sorry, my bad. And I realized that the camera shifted. Let's do that again. Oh, what the heck. Alright, so this moves. I unscrewed it. got this wire here coming from, I'm gonna light it like this. All right. So this wire here is coming from this here. So that's black one, green one. So I'm assuming those are for this speaker because they're screwed to the same place those speakers were. This speaker is. God damn it, this is a mess. Yeah, see, that came off. Can you sense the discouragement in my voice, the despair? Who works like this? Really? Bare wire here was speaker related at one point again. There's another wire here. This one here. I have no clue what it does. Well, I mean, I have very little clue to what all of this does. This looks like a ground. So they added a ground to it, so meaning that that cable was changed. Oh, here we go. See a brand new hole where the speaker was, the aftermarket speaker with the aftermarket hole. You see this. Tube complement for the SAMP 7591 twice, 12AX7, 6U10, which is the Orgasmatron tube here. Let me show you this puppy. Ah, here we go. And that's the sizable burn spot there. So I don't know if it's cooked. You just had a really bad day. I don't know if it's still working. Thank God those are not too expensive, unlike the Super Champs, which is one of my other videos. Super Champs had a tube like that. That was 300 bucks. This is not the same model as the Super Champ. Those go for 10-15 bucks. So this should be the cheapest part to repair in this whole fucking nightmare. I apologize for the swearing, but that's where I'm at mentally right now. This one's good. This one's missing. This one's missing a little bit of screws. Whole bunch of bare wires. So this got to come off. Oh, camera goes up again. All right. If you get motion sick, I'm sorry. So this gets off. And hopefully gets off for good. And hopefully I won't get electrocuted. That would really, really fucking suck. Kids, don't do this at home. I mean it. And here we go. One. This one's the dead speaker wire. Again, the speaker, that's the other thing I have to test. The way this was set up, there was no signal coming out of the speaker. I cannot confirm or deny that the speaker is dead. I know that in this setup, it wasn't working. And since I've already established this is not the original speaker, I don't know if I'll bother. Okay, I'm not going to touch that. Where's the next one? I don't know if I'll bother replacing the speaker. I'll test it. but it's glued. It's glued in, man. Here we go. High-tech level shit, right there. I mean, this is really Radio Shack crap. I don't even know Radio Shack existed at that time. When was Radio Shack founded? I know they're dead. That'd be a good question. Right. The car speaker or the TV speaker? This is tight. This is sheared off. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Let me get rid of the back panel. Make myself some room here. Alright, back panel goes there. Alright, let me pull this a little bit further back so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. I have no clue what I'm... Man. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the camera off. The reverb's plugged in. I'm going to see what I can remove, and hopefully when I turn the camera back on, you'll be able to see the frame, the chassis off of it. And if not, the next part of this video will be me outside in the cold setting it afire. Well, let's do this. Trying this again. Had a few mishaps with the camera, so hopefully this one will work better. I apologize if I do cut off the feed from time to time. I'll do it in parts so that I can verify shorter sections to make sure I don't have to troubleshoot or to redo any major section. So I'm on the frame, the chassis side of the amp. Tubes are pretty good. Amazingly enough, I'll remove them so I can show you. They're vintage. They're probably the same age as the amp, I would assume. Or if they're replaced, they were replaced quite early in the life of the amp. But I got Sylvania and RCA. So they're not identical. I'm assuming tube matching in the 60s weren't a big thing. Or in the life of the amp, one of them blew up and they couldn't be bothered. So they went, let's put this one in. Both cases are good. I don't know. I'm not sure. 12AX7s are fine. I mean, I had some signal going. So I am assuming they're fine. Long plate, vintage. So if anything, at least I'll get my money's worth with the amp, with the tube complement on this thing. Because I got some signal going through one of the shitty speakers, which I'll go over. So sound does come through. I'll do the other 12AX7. So this would be the converter. This would be the preamp. Electro Home. Let me get the faded out GE logo. This is this part. This guy, another GE Electro Home. This guy is not looking good. This would be the 6U10. So you see the light reflecting off the mirror kind of look? That's the burn spot. So I am assuming it's toast, but signal was coming through. Luckily enough, those are not the most expensive tubes. I can easily order one. And that's pretty much it for this side, except for got wires for the reverb tank. Reverb was clean. I'll show you. Reverb is probably the cleanest part of the amp, amazingly enough. No unhooked springs, only 2 springs. Not the most elaborate reverb, but it works. Well, I mean, it should be working again. I'm going with what I was managed, with what I was able to test. Speaker out. So what I'll probably end up doing is having the tech wire me a speaker jack output, sorry. I got plenty of holes on the back of the chassis for that. And that'll save me a lot of it'll be a lot easier for me to swap speakers, try plug-in extension cabinets and stuff. So that's going to be the game plan for these two here. This is the ground. I thought the power transformer had been replaced, but from pictures I've seen on the web, it seems to be original. They're all black like that. It looks brand new. So good. And this will do here. This one here. It's not going anywhere. It's not, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what it's doing. Maybe we'll figure it out when I flip the chassis over. So on this side of the chassis, that's it. Let's flip things over. I'll go the other way. I've cleaned up the faceplate. I'll probably will, but when I do another video of this, I'll show you what the clean faceplate looks like. Cleaner faceplate, I should say. All right. Okay. So let me pivot this. I'm not going to lower the cam. I'm assuming that's what caused the problem. If I can zoom in. I'm in 4K, so you should still get a fairly decent resolution. Let's do it this way. Here we go. So, big one, the red one. Pretty much on the end of the frame here. Here we go. So there was a switch here. Here. There's a wire here. This thing. That's an added switch. I got so much stuff on the table right now. Here we go. That's a switch to nowhere. I'm assuming that's a switch that was for one of the additional speakers. That was added. It was not there from the factory. It's not the same type of switch. It's not the same quality. It's not, there's no, it's different. Inside, let me pull back again. Let me remove the cover a little bit. Here we go. So inside, this is what it looks like. Now this is my general knowledge of electronics. I have no way, I could use a multimeter and try it out. But at this point of the day, it's not worth my time. The tech is going to do it a lot faster than I ever will. And I'd rather pay the tech to do it than me wasting an entire day's work trying to figure out how this shit works. So I'm trying to show you the best I can the board. Let me focus back in. Here we go. So most of the board looks clean. I'm pretty much at the end there. Almost. Feel free to pause the video in time. So, from what I can tell, let me zoom back out again. From what I can tell, it's all original. It hasn't been modded inside, which is a good thing. Which is really, 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 really good thing. Makes fixing it easier for the tech. Apart from fixing a few resistors or maybe changing the caps, it's not going to have much to do with this. So that's encouraging. That's the part of the good news. I'll go to the front of the amp. Now, front of the amp. I try not to break the tubes. That would be really bitchy. This looks original, but on some models I've seen, it had a pilot lamp different, the more like the typical ones you see in Fender amps or Marshalls for that matter. It could be original, I can't tell. If it is, it's not, it works, it lights up, I know that. That's pretty much it for this side of things. So what I'm going to do, I'd like to do everything in one go, but I can't. So I'm going to stop the video, show the other parts, and use this break to verify that this time I'll have to redo this video another time. Now the speaker situation. The wonderful vintage speakers. Yeah, well, whatever. So Zenith. Here we go. Yeah, no, it's upside down. Zenith. With parts falling out of it. Anyway, so here's the speaker. Brand new technology from 1960s. And pretty much toast. So amazingly enough, that was the thing producing sound. So there was output to it, or from it, whatever the heck you want to call it. Anyway, it's not going back in, or not even think about it. Big Daddy, the Canadian speaker. I have no idea who Electronic Musical Instrument Radio Speakers of Canada Limited is. If you do, let me know. It could be kind of curious, but I'm not going to bother researching them because here's the reason why. Listen to this. It is toast. There's no suspension whatsoever. This is a donor. This is a paperweight. This is ornamentation. Or this is crap. So that's gone. Reconing, coil change, anything. It's not worth it. It's going to the trash. I'll give it to the tech, see if he wants to play around with it. I'm not gonna bother. So that's the speaker. Baffle, amazingly enough, seems original and unmodified except for several screw holes. I managed to remove the glue. Now let me get a wider angle. There we go. Alright, I'll do the effort of turning it right side up. Well, it's got the Mickey Mouse vibe. So those holes are original, amazingly enough. So this combo has an accordion input. So this could be earlier than 66. I am assuming that whoever had this blew the speakers up and tried to replace them with what I found. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened. But those holes are original. So this baffle, I was moderately thinking of replacing the baffle and cutting a new one up. But this one is sturdy. It's solid. So I'm not going to bother replacing it. It's dried up. It's waiting for a new speaker, which it will get. That's a definite fact. Baffle's good shape. The combo cleaned up. Combo is structurally, the shell, I apologize. The shell is structurally sound. So I should be able to save the shell. I don't think I'll do another baffle. I mean, I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's dirty, but it's a vintage amp. It should be dirty. right? It's supposed to be dirty. Let me unhook this thing to conclude this nightmare of an amp. There you go. Let me set the camera on the output transformer like this. So what have we learned today, kids? Well, don't pay top dollars for crap. That's the first rule. Be savvy. Be savvy in the sense of know what parts cost. A reverb tank in the used market, probably 100 Canadian, probably 70 US. Brand new, I think they're up to 200 Canadian now, or 150 US. Tubes. If all the tubes match, I know the 6U10 is probably toast, but the others seem to work. So just with the tubes, I probably have $200 worth of tubes. The shell, I could probably sell the shell and the baffle for 50 bucks for somebody looking for a donor to fix their own amps. So in parts, and the chassis with electronics as it stands is probably worth by itself the price that I paid for the amp, which was 200 Canadian. So all in all, I think I'll be all right. When I bought it, I originally thought of parting out the amp, but I think I'll bite the bullet, the financial bullet, and get it fixed. But it's going to be more like a resto mod and not like a vintage restoration. I'll have a modern speaker in it. I have a few speakers. I have an Electro Voice upstairs. I have a vintage 30. I have a couple of trainers that are modern that could do the job. I want it to be functional, and I will do the speaker jack out. Therefore, I'll be able to use it with a 412, a 212, a 115, or anything along those lines, which is my preferred mode of using combos, or any amps for that matter. I have a few sets of speakers that I like. I have a Fane 112, which is outstanding. I have an extra Fane speaker, but I'm not wasting my Fane into this. I'd rather lose the Electro Voice 12L than my Fane 12L. I'm looking left because the shell is there, so it's looking at me. So thank you for watching Musical Intelligence. Hopefully you found a little bit of information. Hopefully you will provide me with some information about these amps. There's little knowledge or database in either written or video form on the net about these. I have another Ampeg, which was a Jet 12, which didn't have reverb, which sounded glorious. So this is my first foray in true vintage Ampegs, like taking them apart. And if not for the, I'm not going to say idiot, I'm going to say the ignorant person who did all these mods, I probably wouldn't have to do jack shit to this amp. So I will post any videos regarding this amp as soon as it is fixed. And hopefully the next video will be how glorious it sounds. So thanks a lot. If you're watching this during the Christmas season, happy holidays, and see you soon.